Let's move on to Bitcoin, shall we? That's a virtual
Bitcoin
currency.
has now almost overtaken
All-time
gold.
high this week of $900. Now, at its peak, if you had have invested $1,000 a year ago in cash to
Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Wednesday afternoon, evening, nighttime. Could be Thursday morning where you are if you're in Asia. But welcome. We're going to talk a little bit about Dogecoin, how Dogecoin is doing compared to other cryptos. We've also got some interesting news about cryptos over in the UK, how Tether is doing, because Tether is kind of interesting, what's going on there. And then some big picture stuff. Bitcoin, altcoins, all of that. And then maybe toward the end, we'll get into some politics. But I covered the post-debate stuff in my video earlier today. So if you saw that video, you're all caught up on what I think. I really didn't talk about politics so much because, again, I'm an independent. And so I kind of see both sides somewhat equally. But we don't have to get into that right now because we want to talk crypto, what's going on. Yes, crypto was down from last night, and most cryptos are right back up during the trading today because people realized the debate is just a show. It really doesn't mean much. And it was an opportunity then for the market makers to take out more liquidated longs, and that's what happened. Again, I showed that earlier in my video today. So the liquidations are still in play, of course. So if Bitcoin can get back to like 58.8, it can start taking out more shorts. That's what we need. We need more of those shorts to get liquidated and see a nice short squeeze. But I get ahead of myself. Because where are we right now? Let me drop down here in the corner. Hey, we're right on my white line. You remember what that white line is, right, guys? That is my September price prediction. And here we are now on the 11th of September, and Dogecoin is trading right where I thought it would. So for those who think I don't know what I'm talking about, well, month after month, for the most part, I'm pretty close. Maybe a little more optimistic on the optimistic side. So when there are big drops, I don't quite get that right. But I'm not the one predicting $2 Dogecoin right now either, like you see on a lot of other channels. So that's why you come here, get the real story, and then later on we will show, again, how Dogecoin is trading compared to other cryptos as well. So, if you're watching this on a video replay, you either aren't subscribed, didn't have your notifications on, or don't remember that I am on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, except for next week. Next week, you will not be having Kriss Packs videos or live streams because I'm on vacay. It's a Kriss Packs vacay week next week. Yeah, right in the middle of FOMC week. I didn't plan that very well. I should have done better. But the timing is what it is. And I will be busy that day riding the Velocicoaster or whatever. Right during the FOMC meeting, I'm going to be on the Velocicoaster. So there it is. Hey, riding a roller coaster, right? Up and down, right? That's what it's going to be. So I'll just ride the roller coaster myself. but it's a much needed vacation. And, gives me a chance to clear my head, have some fun. The Velocicoaster is so good. I can't wait. I've never been to Universal, and I've seen the videos on Velocicoaster, and I'm going to time it exactly for when Jerome Powell announces that 25 basis point cut in rates, because that's what it's going to be, like I've been saying for months and months and months. It's finally going to be here, and I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Orlando riding the Velocicoaster. So remember that when you hear Jerome Powell say 25 basis point rate cut, Kriss is going to be on the Velocicoaster. So, but that's next week. We still have this week to finish up, today and Friday. Yes, Friday we do also have another live stream coming. A lot to talk about this week, right? A lot going on. So let me check in with the chat, get caught up with the chat, and then we will get to the overall chart analysis, news, what's going on, and then back to the chat and Q&A, maybe a little politics, maybe a little bit. But first, cheers. I did just open a cold one. So cheers, everybody. That's good. All right. Post-debate Kriss time. Again, I made a video earlier today, all post-debate stuff, but we can talk about it a little later. Doge for life. Matt bought some more Doge yesterday. Nice. Brought your average cost down to 12. That's the way to do it, Matt. Buy on the dips. Buy on the dips. Like I said, anything below 10 cents is a gift. So I think you got a good price there. Ryan's got a little more cash too. Yeah, I know where that cash is going, Ryan. I know exactly where that's going. Good evening, Joshua. Mars is here. Niels is here. Yeah, I'm okay. I have no complaints here. Doge is doing just what I thought it would. Maybe a little more volatile, but of course I do a whole month price prediction, and I don't always get the whole volatility right, but we're right there. I'm doing okay. Hemi Poppy, ready to make a big purchase of Doge over 100,000. Should I wait for another dip or just make that purchase? I can't tell you what to do there, Hemi. You've got to make that choice of when to buy. I buy on dips. We had a nice dip this morning, under 10 cents. That would have seemed like that was a good opportunity there. Will it dip again below 10 cents? That's a chance you're going to have to take. So that choice is up to you. I did something a little different this morning because I had sold, now I have a stock portfolio too, a small stock portfolio compared to my crypto, and I had gotten out of most of my GameStop last week when it had spiked up to $24 thanks to Roaring Kitty. And I bought this morning pre-market, I bought some DJT, Donald Trump holdings, because it was down like 17, 18% pre-market following the debate last night. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy some of that pre-market. It dipped a little more once the market opened, but I was in. And so far, I've made over $1,000 today just on Donald Trump stock that I bought. Much better than GameStop, which was crashing today too. So I got a little DJT in my portfolio now for stocks, and I'll just see how it rides out before the election and see whether I hold it through the election or not. That could be risky. We'll see about that. Hey, Joe, how are you? Some quiz withdrawals next week, Ryan. Yep, sorry about that. Ask the 8-ball. You don't have to ask the 8-ball. Kriss already knows the answer. I've already given you the answer. And I gave you the answer back in April. It was going to be 25 basis points, and that's exactly what it's going to be. Surely 25, Ron says as well. It's what I've been saying all along. I don't think the Fed is going to just jump right into a 50 basis point cut. And it's not going to be zero. $2 Doge doesn't seem out of reach to me. People forget that Doge went from 0.002 to around 74. Yeah, but these times are a little different. They're a little different. It depends on whether it's just hopium and funny tweets, or is there actually something happening with Doge this time? Because I don't think we'll be seeing it out of a bunch of tweets. It's not going to make Dogecoin go to $1. So, Armando, I have $1,000. I don't know if I should buy more. Well, again, only invest what you're willing to risk. It's cryptocurrency after all, and Doge is more on the risky side, but not as risky as many other of those dumb tokens and other things. And as long as you're not trading with leverage, you'll be okay. And we are expecting positive returns October, November, December. I'll show you that chart in a little bit as well. We're on the 4-year cycle still. Looks like liquidity is coming back in the markets. It could be all right. Crypto seems more diluted now. I know, particularly with the memes. So much more that probably used to get funneled into Doge is now spread out chasing all these other memes. But yes, Doge still has potential. If you had to take a guess on the top for this next bull run, what would your prediction be? So I've got 2 predictions, and I did that back in January for 2024, and that is Dogecoin integrated into the X platform? Or are we just trading on hopium and memes? Funny Elon tweets and things like that. Because that's what it was last time. There wasn't a whole lot else going on, but a lot of fun that Elon was having, and the price of Doge took off based on that. Hard to think a cryptocurrency price is going to be based on whether one individual says something about Dogecoin on a Saturday Night Live episode or not. But leading up to Saturday Night Live, there was all this anticipation about Dogecoin, and the price just went crazy. But there wasn't the real use case. This time around, I don't think we're going to see those great gains unless there's a real use case. It's really being used. But stranger things have happened, though. You never know. But I'm not betting on that. I'm not betting on that. So minded. Stay tuned on that, okay? Stay tuned on that. I'm not going to give a top of the bull market price prediction on Dogecoin right now. We got to see what's going on. All right. Yes, we also have Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, which again is another kind of meme, kind of fun thing. Doesn't really do much for the coin itself. But yes, utility is coming. Is what is that utility and when is it going to come? Because it's been a long time. And there are still many, many, many who think Elon is just trolling, just having fun, and has no serious plan for Dogecoin. There's nothing there. That could be. And we have to be ready for that. I still kind of think we're going to be seeing something with Doge. Elon tested it out before for Tesla merch. You could have bought that burnt perfume. And you also could take rides in Las Vegas in Tesla cars, in those underground tunnels, right? The Boring Company, and use Doge. So Elon has utilized Doge, but it's just in small bits. We need the big thing, right? We need the big thing. So Armando, many YouTube videos says Shiba will reach a penny. No. Dogecoin $25. No. Again, those are YouTube content creators who have no grasp of reality and are just making those videos over and over and over again because they get clicks. They get people to click on them. Not based in reality at all. Could Dogecoin hit $25? Depends on what it's being used for. If it becomes the people's world currency, sure. I don't think that's happening anytime soon, though. And we have to be ready for that. We're still so early in cryptocurrency and its use around the world. I mean, 4 years from now, people are going to be saying, wow, you could have bought Doge for 10 cents? Because where do you think Doge is going to be in 4 years? I'm betting it's a lot higher than 10 cents, even after the following bear market. Just like we were saying 4 years ago when Dogecoin was under a penny, it's like, wow, I could have bought Doge for under a penny. Now it's under 10 cents. In 4 years, it might be under $1. Right? That would make sense. We'll see how that goes. $1 Doge is inevitable now that the lawsuit is over. Elon can say what he wants pretty much. I don't think the lawyers are going to be chasing after Elon again because they're just going to lose. The courts have already said they threw out the last thing. It's ridiculous that that lawsuit even happened. Completely ridiculous. And those lawyers who were chasing after Elon got zero. They got nothing. So, yeah, they probably won't be doing that again. But what's Elon really going to do, though, JS? I mean, really, what's Elon really going to do? Is he going to incorporate Doge? Because that's what we need. Crypto isn't for the faint of heart. That's why I'm riding the Velocicoaster next week, right? Exactly. I'm doing the real roller coaster next week. Rip Ride Rocket, yep. Gonna ride that. Gonna do Harry Potter, gonna do them all. That's gonna be fun. Next week, for those just joining, Kriss is on vacation next week. We'll be down in Orlando. We are going to Universal for 2 days, 2 solid days, one in one park, one in the next park. Riding everything, except those like 3D simulation rides. I don't like those so much. When you just sit there and the chairs jiggle and you're watching everything on a video screen. I don't like that. I like to be moving, actually moving. But yes, crypto. If you're crypto investing, you're already taking a risk. If you're then investing into Doge, you've got a little extra risk along with it. But is it as risky as it used to be? Maybe not. Is Dogecoin going to be prime time crypto? Probably. And it's still in the top 10. It is a top 10 cryptocurrency. It's not going anywhere. Mars. Are the developers going to move Doge to proof of stake? So it's very interesting what the foundation is doing. The Dogecoin Foundation has been continuing to support this narrative of this transition from proof of work to proof of stake. That was a whole thing 3 years ago with Vitalik. because Vitalik had committed to changing Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake, and he did it. The gas fees on Ethereum have eventually come down, didn't come down right away, but it certainly made Ethereum much faster. And one of Elon Musk's suggestions to the Dogecoin developers was to really be used as a currency. You got to get the fees down, and it's got to be faster for real currency use, because you can't wait the 1 minute for the mining, the verification of the transaction on the blockchain. It's up to a minute. Depends on when you actually make the transaction. But it's no more than a minute. Usually it's done in like 5 or 10 seconds, and it's done, right? And they got the fees down. They made it much more manageable in terms of fees. Doge is really cheap to move around compared to most other proof of work cryptocurrencies. But the proof of work and the mining, in my opinion, that's what keeps Dogecoin safe and secure. Again, we see time and time again, some proof of stake crypto, something goes wrong. Something goes wrong with this blockchain, like Solana, right? And we saw it even with Toncoin, right? They had to shut the blockchain down, reboot it, do whatever they needed to fix, whatever. And Solana, it's happened a number of times. Ton, it just happened the other week. I think it was the first time Ton went down. But it's like, Dogecoin doesn't have those problems right now. Dogecoin has been running for 10 years with no blips, no glitches, no stoppages, no hacks. Safe and secure Dogecoin. Dogecoin is never going to be as fast as a Visa transaction, okay? But the narrative that the Dogecoin Foundation has been pursuing here, they've now changed it from proof of stake to proof of Doge, right? Proof of Doge. It's the same thing. And they're calling this Project Sakura. And I don't know where that name came from. It doesn't show up anywhere on the Foundation website. And as I pressed them on X about it, Inevitable eventually told me that more details will come out soon. Well, why didn't you just say that, right? Instead of saying everything is transparent and it's all on GitHub, when it's not. It's not all on GitHub. So I've been looking into that for you guys, just so you know what's going on with that. And there's nothing real on it yet. It would have to be voted on by the community. A big change like that, the community would have to get behind. The foundation shouldn't be making those decisions on their own. It should be a community-based decision, like Dogecoin used to be. Everything was determined by the community. This foundation, right? I mean, they're doing a lot of good things so far. The developers get paid through the tip jars, right? So if you want to tip your favorite Dogecoin developer, you can do that. There's a tip jar for that. That's how they get paid. There's no percentage of Dogecoins being set aside for development or marketing or anything like that. Dogecoin doesn't work that way. It came out before all of that stuff started. So they rely on the tips. Now whales, Dogecoin whales give good tips, right? They support Dogecoin. And they're hoping to make a lot more money this next bull cycle on Doge. So they give tips. A lot of other people in the community give Doge tips as well to the tip jar for the developers, because the devs don't get salaries. It's not like Ripple. It's not like the XRP devs that are all on salaries and they're all getting paid because they're minting and selling a whole crap ton of XRP, which is why XRP is not going to do anything. But not Doge. It's all out there. And new Doge continues to be minted as rewards to the miners for validating transactions on the blockchain, like it's been doing for 10 years. So I'll keep you up to date on the proof of stake stuff. You're welcome, KB. Cheers. Yes, utility. Again, that's been my narrative for Dogecoin for this cycle, is we will see great returns on Dogecoin with real utility. Will Elon Musk tweets help it? Sure, somewhat. But it's not going to sustain. It's going to be just like May of 2021. There's going to be a big peak, and then it's just going to get shorted all to hell back down. It's not going to be able to hold it unless there's real utility. That's what it's going to need. Advisor Musk. Hey, if Trump wins the presidency, Musk has volunteered and Trump has accepted for Elon to be an advisor in the Trump administration to help clear out mostly the regulations. That's what's mostly bothering Elon, because he can't get things through all of the paperwork approval systems in order just to fly a rocket up into space. So many regulations, overregulated. So he hasn't interested in clearing a lot of that stuff out. But at the same time, the US government is huge. It's giant. And it could use a little trimming. I don't think Elon is trolling about crypto and money. He clearly sees future utility in it. I think so too, but for him to actually use it on a global scale, like on X, would be a huge move with a lot of risk involved. But we'll see. We'll get into debate stuff and politics a little later. We'll be talking about that stuff. Okay, Roz? Still think Elon going to pull off the Doge 1 mission? Well, again, it's not Elon, right? Elon has rockets going up into space all the time, right? This is the company that's hitching a ride on an Elon rocket for the Doge 1 mission. It's all been paid for in Doge. They just got to get the satellite approved and reconfigured and whatever they're doing. Last I heard, a couple months ago, they were reconfiguring it for something. But it's made, and now it's going through some reconfiguration thing. Maybe December is when it's going to be able to hitch its ride. That's kind of what the forecasting and future SpaceX flights is targeting, a December launch of something that the Doge 1 satellite could hitch a ride on, and that would make it a Doge 1 mission. But we don't know whether it's ready to go. So it's not Elon's fault that that thing hasn't been ready. It's the third-party company that's making the satellite. Elon should have put a Dogecoin in the Polaris rocket. I know, right? We'll talk about debate stuff a little later, low roller. A little later. Yes, Patriots won. It's a good start to the year. Wasn't expected for our football New England Patriots to go into Cincinnati and actually win. We'll see whether that continues. People aren't betting on many wins still on the Patriots, even though they won the first game. So, reminder from KB, people hit the like button. Appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Always appreciate that as well. How many states have approved money transactions for X payments? So, Jay, the last I heard it was 36. It was 36. So 14 more to go. That's the last I've heard. Still, it's the end of summer now. Elon said summer of 24. It's the end of summer, and he's a little over halfway with those. But again, that's the regulation thing that is just killing Elon, right? It's like, why does it take so long to get a license? He applied months and months and months ago for all of this. This is the thing that bugs Elon more than anything else right now. He said the other day on the All In Pod, it shouldn't take longer to get a piece of paper to move from one desk to another for a signature than it takes to build a rocket. He's got Starship ready to go on its next test flight. It's ready to go. And it's waiting for some regulatory approval. Yeah, we'll talk about debate stuff in a little bit. We're talking crypto and Doge right now. Stellar. I don't hear anything about Stellar. I don't know what they're doing. I have no intention on buying into any of that. Not buying into any of it. What is Stellar doing now? Stellar. $0.09. 9 cents. There was a time when XLM was actually more than Doge. And sometimes it trades right around Doge's price. But again, this is an older coin, been around for years and years. Big run in 2021. It actually went up to 70 cents also. Look at that. I didn't remember that. It went up to 70 cents. And then like Dogecoin, traded all the way back down below 10 cents. That's pretty similar to Doge. Could XLM trade up to 70 cents again? Who knows? Looks like I've got a couple lines on this chart. I must have been looking at this back here a couple years ago for these lines to be here. Some previous live stream from a couple of years ago, we were looking at XLM prices, and of course XLM failed that lower support at 32 cents in the bear market, of course. Kind of interesting. Yeah, it did better than XRP in this last bull run, not the one before. That was the XRP back here. Well, actually, I mean, XLM ran up 70 cents again. It actually did like a big double top here. Look at this. I mean, giant double top, right? At 70 cents. What did XRP do during that same time? Actually, 2021, it was up $1.70, $1.80. Oh, this one doesn't go back to 2017. I got to do, let's see, this is the Binance one, right? I got to do one that goes back further. It includes 2017. Maybe it's a USD one. See what we get here. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. Yeah, XRP went up to $2.80 up here. And then in 2021, it only went up to $1.80. So it didn't repeat the same previous high. And now it's just not doing much at all, which is why I call it a stable coin now, right around 60 cents. Right now it's 53 cents. That's the fate of XRP right now. Not doing much. Got something here, a little remnant of something I need to get rid of. Here we go. So this is the upcoming FOMC meeting for next week. Is this blue line there? We'll go to the daily chart, and we'll see that out here. So this is next Wednesday, FOMC. My September price prediction had a little action going on that day, but I will not be here, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. Vacations are always fun. But here's another view of that. So that's that blue vertical line is next Wednesday's FOMC meeting, I predicted some volatility happening there. But so far, Doge is right with my white line, right there. So still following. All right, so let's get into it. Crypto bubbles, mostly red. There's a few greens. Injective is up. Monero is up a little bit, kind of interesting. Uniswap up a little. BNB. Mostly we've got some big negatives though, like WIF, Floki, Popcat, Sats, Say down a bit, and Pepe, all 3 to 6% down. So we'll talk about how, again, how Doge compares to other cryptos. We're talking a little bit about, but also Doge against the other major meme tokens. And Doge is outperforming all of those right now. So that's good for Doge. Overall, crypto fear and greed index is now up to 37, up from yesterday's 33. Last week, we were from fear to extreme fear. Remember, we had dipped down to 25. So fear and greed is ticking up, although last night with the Trump debate performance not being so great, we had crypto prices coming down a bit. Many believe that crypto will do better under a Trump presidency than a Harris presidency. Could be. Crypto did okay 4 years ago when Biden won. Just saying, it might not be the end of the world if Harris wins for crypto. We'll see how that plays out. Here's what Rec Capital says, and this is what I've been showing on for the past couple weeks, is monthly performances so far for Bitcoin. September is down 7% for Bitcoin, just like it has been down in 2022, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17 were all red months for September. And now here we are. Again, this is what we've been saying, October, November, December. Look at these October returns over the past 5 years for Bitcoin, 28%, 5%, 39%, 27%. Now, the black represents the 4-year cycles. So 4 years ago, Bitcoin was up 27% in October, then 42% in November, and then 46% on top of that for December. 4 years before that, in 2016, and this was before the huge 2017 run, but in 2016, up 14%, 5%, and 30%, all green months. Is this what we're looking at for October, November, December of 2024? I'm not betting against it. As Rec Capital says, survive September, thrive in October, November, and December. Q4 is where it's at. Will this year be different? I don't think so. And this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we were waiting for all summer long. It's like, let's finally get going. And this could be the start. And we could actually turn September around too. I mean, September started off with a big dip. So we have to recover from that completely first. So that's what we're looking at going forward. The big picture is this giant cup and handle, which we showed before on the Bitcoin chart, but here it is on the alts as well. This is from Elja. Alt season will begin in Q4. Life-changing gains will be made. So for the alts that have been beaten down pretty bad through the bear market and even this summer, giant cup and handle, target, big gains. Life-changing? Could be. Guess it depends on how much you put in, right? The more you put in, the more you get out, right? The bigger your gains. And again, this isn't chasing the possible 1000x meme tokens, which is like 1 in a million chance of actually picking the right one, most times you're just going to get wrecked. So be careful about that. And this isn't life-changing gains trying to trade with leverage. Just be smart about it. Just be smart about it. So how's Dogecoin doing? So this is looking at the last 3 months of trading. Not too much green over the last 3 months. Doge is right here, sort of in the middle, but it's down 30% since June 11th. Over the last 90 days, Doge is down 31. That's not as bad as like Pepe, which is down 42, Sheeb that's down 39, WIF is down 37. So Doge is outperforming those other large meme tokens. And there are others doing that. I mean, Matic, HBAR, and Arbitrum has been the worst. I've got some Arbitrum, so that's not great to see. The ones doing great, Helium, Aave, Tron, even XRP. Again, it's a stable coin, right? You hit it at the right time, it can actually show a little green. But here's Aave. Again, I've been talking about Aave. I own a chunk of Aave. And Aave is the one that actually has broken out of this downward trend. The downward trend that we've seen across all cryptos, for the most part, it's one of the only ones that has actually broken out of that downward trend. So this is the type of trading we will be seeing in October, I think, for all other cryptos, including Doge. We're going to see this type of trading. This is Aave's chart now, here in September. This is what we're going to see. Breakouts across the board. And I'm going to be talking breakout, 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 right? And it's going to be real. It's a real breakout as opposed to the fake breakouts that we've had before. But Aave has done it. Others will. The UK introduces a bill to legalize crypto ownership. Now, why would they do this? Why would they do this? When so many other countries are trying to find ways to suppress crypto, ban it. Yeah, most countries haven't been very successful. You can't ban. I mean, crypto is worldwide. People trade it with VPNs. It's kind of tough to ban. It's going to happen. Every country, someone owns crypto. But this goes the opposite direction for the UK of legalizing it, which is kind of interesting. UK introduced a bill to officially recognize crypto, NFTs, and carbon credits. It's kind of weird. The bill gives legal protection to crypto owners and businesses, helping courts handle disputes involving digital assets. The regulation, if passed, would take full effect by the end of 2024. So that's good. UK wants to stay ahead in crypto regulation. I think that's fine. I think that's kind of what we're looking for, is clarity on the regulation of crypto assets. That takes away a lot of the risk of crypto investing to do that. So the more we get this happening around the world, the better. Meanwhile, the one crypto that does well no matter what the markets do, right? There's one crypto that does well. That's Tether. Do you know Tether made more money than BlackRock last year? Tether made more money than BlackRock. If you guys have ever swapped into Tether and then traded out of Tether or bought another crypto with Tether, there's a little fee you pay, right? A little Tether fee. those fees add up. They add up a lot. Tether's making a crap ton of money, and they keep minting more and more Tether all the time. There is now 118 billion Tether tokens. 118 billion. And every time a Tether trades hands, whether from a personal wallet or account to an exchange, Tether just makes a little bit more. Tether is used very often for cross-border payments, sending money, right, from one country to another. Many use Tether for that. There's no risk with Tether. It's always one-to-one with the US dollar. So, I mean, with inflation, right? Tether year after year has less buying power as the United States dollar does as well. But it's used a lot. It's a very safe way to move money from one country to another. And a lot of people use it. Tether, making money. Making money. Tether. I thought that was interesting. You know who else is making money off of crypto? They haven't been for the past couple of years, but they're back. And who is that? Robinhood. Remember Robinhood? They made so much money in 2021, mostly off of Dogecoin. It was something like 70% of all of Robinhood's profit in 2021 was crypto, and over half of that crypto profit was Dogecoin. It was Dogecoin for Robinhood. Well, guess what? Robinhood, Vlad's pretty smart, right? And he sees what's happening. He sees this bull cycle, this bull market building up. He knows what Elon's doing. He knows about Dogecoin because he made a crap ton of money off it back in 2021. So what's he doing? Crypto strategy is luring affluent millennials to the platform. That's their target audience, is to get a lot of the millennials onto their platform. And what are they going to buy? What are they going to buy? They're going to see a Bitcoin at 58,000. They're going to see a Dogecoin at 10 cents. I can buy a lot more Doge than I can Bitcoin. That's how it worked. 2021. That's what we saw, was the explosion of investors on Robinhood, easy on ramping, first-time crypto holders, right? Buying Doge. Yeah, some will buy SHIB if they even know what it is. I mean, SHIB has a much lower price, and you get a lot more SHIB for $1 than Doge. But most people, they've never heard of SHIB. They don't know what it is. But they've probably heard of Dogecoin. That is what is going to help Dogecoin this bull market. So I say, go Robinhood. Let's do it. And Vlad should also start posting Dogecoin tweets, right? Dogecoin memes. That would be awesome. Because he knows he makes a crap ton of money off of that Doge trading on his platform. So here's why Dogecoin price recovered above 10 cents. Again, 10 cents. That's been a support resistance line for a long time. And here we are again. Now we're right above it. So can we hold 10 cents as support now and no longer see the nines, no longer drop or add a zero back? We want to drop another zero, obviously. We're done dropping zeros at 10 cents. Now we want to add on the backside, right? Get to $1, get to $10. The future. Dogecoin recovered above 10 cents following Bitcoin's rise to as high as 58,000. There is a strong positive price correlation between Doge and Bitcoin, and we continue to watch that. And for the most part, they've been trading pretty close to even. And again, we look at the Doge BTC trading pair right here, and we're at 17. So this is barcoding, which means it's pretty much just trading sideways. We can zoom out on the 4-hour and you can see, yeah, there was a little bit more of a run on Doge here the other day. It came back down a little bit, but still better than it was at the beginning of the month. So that's positive for Dogecoin. But for the most part, yeah, pretty even, I'd say. Doge still staying pretty even with Bitcoin. So what sent it up? Well, certainly Bitcoin's price going up does help Doge. But as we saw the other day, Doge actually went higher percentage-wise compared to Bitcoin. And that would be one, Elon Musk. Musk recently put out an X post in which he alluded to Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. So that got some people excited and people buying Dogecoin. Mr. Crown, welcome. Good to see you. And of course, Elon has also made other little tweets that I've shown over the past few days, just supporting all of that. You know, sounds good about Starlink using Doge as a currency as opposed to a bank, because Brazil is going to shut down their Starlink bank account. If you use Dogecoin, there's no bank. You got no bank. So all of those little things, right, just add up. They all add up to Doge. So how does Doge compare to other memes? Pepe, Sheeb. Meme coins have been on their usual up and down roller coasters, according to sentiment, speculation, crowd sentiment playing a major factor. Our latest insights breaks down top on-chain and social indicators for Doge, Sheep, and Pepe. Yes, Dogecoin had a tough August. We went all the way through August with that. Was definitely tough. Sheeb also dropped almost back where it was 2 years ago. Pepe holding tight, still up quite a bit from where it was a year ago. But as we saw over the past 3 months, has traded down lower than where Doge was. So in the end, it all depends on when you buy in. When do you buy in? Doge BTC, RSI lows, can do that. I haven't turned on the RSI in a while. Unlike you, Tom, I don't pay for a TradingView subscription. So every time I've got to turn off one of these other guys in order to add the RSI. So let's turn off the 50 and then we'll add RSI. We can do that. So here we're at Doge BTC. We're at 17.7. We're on the 4-hour chart. And what are we looking at here? Yeah, right now it's at 50. It's right at 50, Tom. So either way from here, get a multiple moving average indicator so you get 3 to 5 moving averages. I could do that. I could do that. But right now the RSI is right at 50. So it is just sitting there. On the weekly, we can do that. Weekly is actually starting to turn around a little bit. on the weekly. Still, RSI is still down at 40 on the weekly. But, and back here, early August, we were talking about those being the lows of the Doge BTC compared to where the Doge BTC chart was back in February when Doge took off. So we could be looking at that kind of thing again. Yeah, I know. We go back to 2021 and it's like, yeah, way up there. But look where it was before, even lower, back in 2020. This little run right here that we had in October 2022, that's when Elon bought Twitter and Doge just spiked. But eventually, against BTC, traded all the way back down and then even lower. So yeah, it's been tough for Doge versus BTC trading through the rest of this bear market. But zooming in, we are still starting to see a little turnaround here, which is why I've been saying Doge is going to outperform Bitcoin over the next 12 months. Outperform Bitcoin. Here's what that looks like on the daily. Zoomed out. Yeah, we had that big dip there on August 5th. But that's my call, Tom. Over the next 12 months, Doge will outperform Bitcoin by multiples. We're going to see a big run on Doge. Bitcoin will do well, but Doge is going to go higher. 4-year cycles. As we showed last week, a number have shown every 4 years, Doge goes on a crazy spike, and it hasn't done it yet. So here we are looking at FOMC here. Next Wednesday, we'll have a little volatility in Doge's price, most likely happening there. So that's what we're looking for. Cool. All right, let me get caught up in the chat. Life-changing wealth. At what point do you sell your Doge? Luke, we're going to be talking about that later this fall. Probably in October, we'll start those conversations about layering out, taking profits. Too soon. Doge is still at 10 cents. Not time to start taking profits yet. But we'll get to that. So stick around at least into the real moves for a bull market. And we'll be talking about that, okay? We will be talking. Tor, do you strictly look at technical analysis or fundamental something? I look at the news and I look at the actual data and trading. I do not do so much technical analysis other than where are the liquidations happening, because that's really what's been moving the price more than anything else, particularly with Bitcoin and ETH, as we've seen through the summer, is the targeting of leveraged longs, and we see a price dip down, grab that price, take out leveraged longs, and then as price goes up, we see shorts getting liquidated as well. That's what's been moving the crypto market more than most things. Now, Aave obviously has some great news behind it and all of the increasing use of that DeFi platform, and that is causing Aave to continue to go up higher than most other cryptos. TA isn't going to show you that, right? No one predicted this. Where's that chart? No one predicted this Aave move. There was nothing TA-wise that said that that was going to happen. It just blew past everybody's like resistance lines and fib lines compared to like the rest of the crypto market, which wasn't doing that move. So that's what I look at. Stuff like that. But I'm much more news driven. What's going on in the crypto market? What is influencing crypto? as opposed to TA. If you want to watch some good TA analysis, go watch Mr. Tom Crown. Check Tom out. He does great TA. See, low roller, you didn't hear me earlier. I sold most of my GameStop last week at 24 bucks. I sold. And I had that money sitting there waiting. This is in my stock portfolio. And this morning, pre-market, I bought Donald Trump DJT, of which I'm already up quite a bit. I made over $1,000 just on that today. So yeah, I guess you could call it fundamental analysis. Sure. It's the news. It's the news. Mega Millions might raise to $5 a ticket. That's crazy. $2 a ticket is enough. But $5? Wow. Hey, what's up, Jason? Welcome. We haven't had an altcoin season yet. It's coming. It's coming. What's a Robinhood? Who is this Robinhood you speak of? Yep. Why hasn't Robinhood added any new coins? That is an interesting question, because there are a lot of really good cryptos that shouldn't be questionable on whether it's a security or not, because that's the thing that spooked out Robinhood. What was that, like a year and a half ago when they dropped Solana and Cardano? It's because they were afraid they'd get a Wells notice from SEC and have to pay a big fine. So they just said, we're just going to get rid of those. They could be adding some of those back. I mean, Cardano should be back on Robinhood. So should Solana. I don't know why. I don't know why. How many states, Tedward asked? This was asked earlier. 36 is the latest number I've seen, is 36 states have, X has money transmitter licenses, which means 14 states to go. So getting there, but again, Elon even admits he's bad at scheduling, right? He's bad at forecasting how long things take. His frustration on regulations and how long licenses and things take to get really bothers him now. And this is another one of those things. It's just, why does it take so long? $3 Doge, $400 billion market cap, not happening. Maybe not this cycle, maybe next. Again, crypto is going to continue to grow in size over time. We're still early. We're still early. And we'll see how Doge is actually trading. So a lot of YouTube is clickbait. I know. You should know it just by the thumbnails, whether something is going to be good or not. You should know. Hey, Roz, can you go check the second most recent post from Master Kenobi on X, who Kevin just agreed with? Master Kenobi. Master Kenobi. Master Kenobi. Where your imagination ends, mine begins. Interesting. He's got a pinned tweet. Doge update. Interesting. So we're looking at 4-year cycles again. He's outlined Bitcoin halving, and then he's forecasting out from the Bitcoin halving 91 days. So that's this yellow box here. That first yellow box is a 91-day box, of which we're not there yet. Is that right? Oh no, 91 days are these smaller boxes. He's got an initial 91 day and then a secondary 91 days. He had them back to back in 2020 into 2021. They're split between 2016, 2017. And then here he's saying in 2024 and then early 2025, we could see the first 90 days Doge go to $1, and then the second 90 days go to $3.40. That's what the chart says. So what does he say? We reviewed the pattern by which cycles are aligned, compare with the graph in the previous post to see a difference. We noticed that the first pump in each bull market every time lasts exactly 91 days. If we've already entered the bull market on December 2nd, Doge should reach $1. If we have a bull market similar to the previous one, Doge should then reach $3.40 around March 3rd. Although the red line has been reached in every bull market that has passed, I personally find it difficult to see Doge above $5 this cycle. So he's got this red line from the 2017 high through the 2021 high. And if we hit that now, it'd be $5. If we hit that on March 2nd, it would be up over $11. Again, this is technical analysis, which is well and good, but it doesn't mean that's going to happen. I believe there will be a bull run with Doge, but the only thing that's going to get Doge to trade up at these levels is going to be some use case this cycle. It's not just going to be memes and tweets. That's what I think. Kevin says, nice post. We are on the same page. There you go. Yeah, that's what he replied. Got it. So, Master Kenobi. I'll give him a follow. And we will keep in touch with what Master Kenobi follows up on with that Doge update. Interesting. All right. Doge couldn't hold 10.2 cents, meanwhile. Just can't hold it. Not right now. Bitcoin can't hold 58K, which it had earlier today. Just touched it. Can't hold it. The Chase Money glitch thing. Yeah, I saw some little bit of news on it. Saw that Graham Stephan had made a video on it, which of course he just makes videos to get clicks. So that was the latest thing. So he makes a video on it. Fine. That's Graham. There's no such thing as too good to be true, right? No such thing. What time frame would you say is the best to look at on average? Well, it depends on what you're doing, right? For accuracy, again, are you trying to trade or you're just looking at overall trends? I always use the 15-minute just to see what it's done for the past day. And you see me constantly flipping between the 15-minute, the hourly, the 4-hour, daily, and weekly. I'm always going back and forth. I use the hourly less, I think. I typically go from a 15-minute chart back to a 4-hour chart. Those are the ones I use the most. Would be the 4-hour, because the 4-hour gives you like half a month. So it goes from looking at a day on the 15-minute chart to then half a month on the 4-hour chart. So that's typically what I flip back and forth on, are those. But if I'm trading, then I'm on Coinbase and I'm on the 5-minute. I'm on a 5-minute chart on Coinbase when I'm actually going to buy or sell when I'm trading. That's what I look at. Because then on that 5-minute chart, you're like right in there. Okay, what's it doing? Where's it going from here? That's what I look at. Where's SHIB going to top out at? Well, we saw SHIB up at 45 back in March. Now SHIB is trading at 13. I don't count the first 4 zeros. So it was at 45, dropped all the way down to 13. Ouch, that's like a third of the price. So it's come down higher as a percentage from its spring high than Doge has. Doge has gone from 22 to 10. SHIB has gone from 45 down to 13. So that's pretty bad. So to get back up to 45, that's my target to sell right now. If it gets back up to 45, I'm selling. I bought in at 10, so that would give me at least a 4x return. I'm good with that at this point. I was hoping SHIB would at least get to its previous all-time high around 80, but now 40 is like, I'm good. But that's just me. I have no long-term aspirations of holding on to SHIB and that Shibarium and the whole SHIB ecosystem is going to become something so big that, you know, it's going to be worth multi-trillion dollars. I'm not waiting for that. I'm just trying to make money on SHIB this cycle. And sure, I could have sold back in March, but I wasn't selling anything then, thinking that that was a first leg of a multi-leg bull market, and did not think that everything would fall back as much as it has this summer, which we looked at again earlier here on this comparison chart. Which one was it? Where'd it go? We covered that. We covered this one. Over the last 90 days, again, SHIB is down 40%. 40% the last 90 days. Doge is down 30%. SHIB is down 40. Pepe is down 42. So yeah, SHIB's gotten hurt more. Now, if you're looking to buy in and catch a wave, not a bad price, in my opinion. Again, always comes with some kind of risk, so be careful about that. Be careful about the risk. Who's got a gold check mark? Oh, Joe. Yeah, Joe's got the first gold check mark. He's been our longest standing family member here, was Joe. Nice gold check mark. Silver's not bad, but gold, that also means Joe's getting more Dogecoin than you, Ryan. He's getting a little more Dogecoin from me than you are, because he's been around a little bit longer. He got the gold check mark. That's as high as it goes. I got nothing. Nothing bigger than gold. But once you're gold, you're good. If I get free money on Chase Glitch, I'd put it all into Dogecoin. Yeah, well, they lost. And now they're going after those that tried to take advantage of the so-called glitch. Legal action. Again, be careful. Something seems to be too good to be true. Just stay away. Stay away. Yeah, Subway, I don't think so. Stay away. I got 4 Subway footlongs for $8. Wow. That's a good deal. We get the coupons for the Jersey Mike's buy one, get one free. And we do that sometimes. And I think Jersey Mike's has a much better sandwich than Subway. But that's what we do here. A Doge phone. I think Elon's staying out of the phone business. He's not going to be getting into that. Well, I already have silver. So platinum, what color would that be? I'd have to add a new check mark to my... Anyway. Mars has been around since the old channel. Yes, you have. I did not have check marks back then, and they wouldn't have carried over. But you've got no check mark now, so I can't help you. For those wondering what the check marks are, just go to my YouTube channel, and you'll see our members here. And you can join and become a member of the channel, and you get these check marks. And gold is the highest one. I think that's 2 years, if I remember. If I remember, the gold is 2 years. And you also get to use some fun custom emojis in the chat. You get your name in green, all of that, to be a member. And then you will be getting some of this Dogecoin from me. 75,000 Dogecoin I will be giving out at the top of the bull market when we are all making money. That's the plan. I'd give it out sooner, but you degens would just sell it. No, I'm keeping you guys safe. I'm actually allowing you guys to make more money by me holding on to it until I'm ready to give it out. That's the plan. That's the plan. But yeah, this is the CryssPax DCA portfolio. We're up about 60% since last year. 60%, not bad. Of course, we were higher back in March, but so it goes. We're waiting for that next huge run up, particularly in Doge. And then I will be giving out this Dogecoin, which is 43% of the overall portfolio, and all of these other coins, those are mine. Not my personal stash. This is my CryssPax stash of coins here that we were buying a year ago. DCA buying. Our average price of Dogecoin is 6 cents. Our average Bitcoin price was 26,000. That's right. Jasmy 0.003. This is the actual purchases we made. If we go to here, 9/11, look at that. Exactly 1 year ago, we bought 33,000 Dogecoin at 0.0595. That's right. Dogecoin was under 6 cents exactly 1 year ago. And we bought 33,000 Dogecoin into this portfolio. Up until then, I had only been buying like $33 or $50, $33, like three times a week. But then When it dropped below 6 cents, it's like, okay, I'm going to buy a little more of that. And we did that a year ago. Live, we bought this live during the live stream. I had the Coinbase open, and we actually bought the cryptocurrency live. For some of you that were here a year ago, that's what we did. But I mean, we can see what else we bought that day. I think that's all we bought that day was Doge, because it dropped below 6 cents. We bought Algorand at 9 cents on September 8th. We bought 9-cent Algorand. We bought Litecoin at $62. Looking back, that wasn't a good purchase. And we bought SHIB at 0.000075. That's 5 zeros, 75. That was a good price for SHIB. So that's a year ago. That's what we were doing. And except for the Litecoin and Celestia's down. That's one of the more recent ones we flipped into. Because we took profits on Render, because Render was going to change to from the RNDR token to the Render token. And I didn't know if Coinbase was going to support that migration. So we just took the profit on Render, and I bought Celestia. And Celestia tanked even harder. Unfortunately, we didn't get that quite right. But overall, we're up 60%. Pretty good. If you want to know more about this portfolio and how you can receive Dogecoin from me, just put a question in the chat or down in the comments below if you're watching this on a video replay, and I'll be glad to talk more about it. Free Dogecoin I will be giving out. We're zoomed in on the 5-minute chart, watching price action here. We not degen. We smart. Right. Jersey Mike's is good. Yeah, we like Jersey Mike's a lot better than the Subway. They actually cook right there as opposed to just microwave something. Yeah, I remember that Discord. That was fun. Actions are more powerful than words. If words got it, Dogecoin 75 cents last time, and wouldn't it make sense for the utility to bring it further? Yeah, it would. Which is why my price prediction is much higher for Dogecoin if Doge actually has real utility by Elon on X. That's what my comparison was. Well, yeah, of course, Roz. Those ABC moderators aren't going to talk about the assassination attempt on Trump. They're not going to bring it up because they are obviously leaning toward the Democrats. And if anything was proof of that last night was how much they were pro-Harris and anti-Trump, just based on their questions to the two candidates. I mean, basically, we're going to do a little political time now. But basically, the questions were to Donald Trump, remember a few years ago when you did something bad? And then the question to Harris was, Harris, do you remember when the orange man over there did something bad? That was basically it. Now, I'm an independent again, and I'm just like, try to stay in the middle of all of this, but that was pretty obvious that those moderators were not just moderators, and they weren't just answering questions. They were skewing things pretty bad. Now, Trump didn't have a great performance. I think he really blew it, particularly on the healthcare thing. He should have just said he had a plan and he wasn't going to talk about it because he's going to wait till he gets elected to unveil the plan instead of saying he had like a concept of a plan or a concept of an idea or whatever that was. That wasn't good. And certain things that Harris said really triggered him. She was coached very, very well. There's no doubt. She was coached very well for the debate. And she just said things that triggered him. So, yep. That's my political debate commentary. How many members? It's in the 40s somewhere, Joshua. I haven't looked recently. It's somewhere in the 40s. Trump said migrants were eating dogs. Yeah, it's on video. There's actual video of it, of migrants eating cats, cooking cats on the street. Reports that they were catching geese in a public park and slaughtering them. Yep, it's happening. It's absolutely happening. I believe it. You degenerates wouldn't sell? Some of you guys would, though. It's like free stuff. I'm just going to sell. Ryan's a Harris supporter, but will admit questions were biased at points. Yep, that's my point as well. They were pretty biased. GJT stock moving together now since the whole Elon Doge title. There are many who think that crypto overall will perform better after the election if Trump is elected versus Harris. We still don't know what Harris's true economic plan is and what she would do about regulations for crypto. I think, they added a button where you can donate crypto. Of course, they're going to do that. They'll take money any way they can for an election, right? They'll take donations. If someone wants to give them crypto, they'll take it. But that doesn't mean they're not going to continue the regulation by enforcement that SEC has been doing under the Biden administration. And that wouldn't be great for crypto. Now, crypto certainly traded very well 4 years ago under Biden, right? Post-election into 2021, crypto was going wild. Now, a lot of that was about stimulus checks and, a lot of free money being thrown around. We don't have that much of that this time, which is why I kind of think we need to temper some of our expectations this cycle. But that doesn't mean it still can't do well. There's still only so much Bitcoin. And if people keep buying Bitcoin, there's less and less Bitcoin available. So the whole scarcity thing plays in, no matter who's the president. So we have that. They're eating the Doge. God, I didn't even think of that. Concepts of a plan. I know that was bad. That was the one thing that Trump said that I was just like, ooh, that's bad. He should have come up with something else. Because he said it well when it came to the Ukraine-Russia, peace deal and how he would end it. He's like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to take care of it. If I'm the president-elect, I'll just go take care of it, which I believe he could probably do. He should have said something like that about his healthcare plan. Yeah, Harris baited him. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. The only thing I'm worried about with Trump is his age. Right now, he is sharp as anything. I know, we love those stimmies, didn't we, Ryan? Those were nice. They went right into crypto. That's where mine went. They went right into crypto. Well, I was doing some stocks first. The earliest ones went into stocks and then crypto. Yeah, the USA will survive Harris. Everyone says it'll be end of America. No. It's just, many believe it's just not a great direction for the country, particularly when it comes to the migrants. That's just bad policy. That has to change. And I think regardless of who wins, that's going to turn around. I think that's just a this election kind of thing. And post-election, if Harris wins, they're going to do something about it. Not as drastic as what Trump would do, but I still think they would do something about it. Yeah, interesting times, right? If XRP got up to 150 billion, what's stopping Doge? Nothing. Doge could go to $1.50. Sure. And be up there. Again, it's going to be utility, like we were saying earlier. Utility. That's what it's going to take. Bitcoin and crypto don't care who's president. In the big picture, there are many who just think Trump would be more crypto friendly and we would see a much bigger bounce off the election results if Trump wins for crypto prices. Yeah, I don't know about Vivek. I mean, certainly he talks very well. There's still questions on how he ran his biotech company and became very wealthy, and whether that would translate into actual, political decision making. But he talks a good game. He's probably would have smart people around him. I would believe that, but I don't think he's the type of presidential candidate, though, that would actually get like mass voting, from the lower to middle class. I would think Vivek would have a tough time getting that at this point. So he's got to do some other stuff first. I think he's got to do some other stuff first. Yeah, I agree. I think Tedward, I think he has his, 4 years ago he was president, right? So he has all of that he was doing, the previous 4 years before that as president. But he could never fix the whole Obamacare thing. And he even said in the debate last night that he had a choice, right? He could either be selfish, right, look out for his own self-interest and try and get Obamacare abolished and institute a new plan, which would be very painful for most Americans. Instead, he said he made the tough choice against the selfishness to say, let's do what we can to make it better, to improve it. That's what he said, and that's what happened. But he doesn't have a plan to replace it, and he finally admitted it. Concept of a plan or whatever it was, that just didn't come off really good. On the issues of economy, foreign policy, and the border, Trump was a leader. Abortion and race, tried to bait him. The whole January 6th and previous election thing, I'm like so tired of. It's like, let's stop bringing up all of those past items and let's talk about what's going on now, how we're going to fix things that are going on now, and what we're going to do in the future. But the media just can't help it but keep bringing up those past things. Yeah, the gold standard. I didn't think Trump fell for the bait that much. Yeah, overall, he did a good job. Again, like I said, the healthcare thing was bad. And then getting roped into talking about January 6th far too much. People don't want to hear about that anymore. The media keeps bringing it up. But that and, the triggering, right? And, what Harris would come up. I mean, it's obvious and it's been said multiple times that Trump is not the author of this Project 2025 thing. Trump has distanced himself from it. He said multiple times he doesn't even want to read it. He doesn't even want to know because it's getting such bad publicity. But yet, the Democrats continue to call it Trump's Project 2025 when they know it isn't. But that's politics, right? And they're going to keep bringing because they know that triggers not only him, but the American voter as well. So, hey, Sergio, how are you? I think overall, let me go back to the 15-minute chart. We can see what happened. This downfall in trading last night is the public perception was that Trump lost the debate and crypto prices dropped because of it. Whether he actually lost or not, that's debatable, right? I think in the end, it was pretty much a wash, in my opinion. They both told lies. They both did the politics thing. They both got baited a few times. Neither really gave concrete plans on the economy. I didn't hear us talk about the economy at all. Obviously, she doesn't want to because the economy hasn't been great the past 4 years. Trump brought it up a couple times just in passing, but there were really no direct questions about the economy. And that's what I think is like the number one issue right now because people are hurting, right? Their wages haven't kept up with the price of goods. The inflation has been really bad. But Trump doesn't connect with like the common people in America. He doesn't. He could just say to the camera and just say, like, I'm trying to do policies that are good for the average American, and he won't say it. He won't say it. So he's not connecting. And that's not good, in my opinion. Vivek on the Trump team. Trump may have him involved somehow because he's a pro-Trumper. He certainly continues to say very good things about Donald Trump. So could see that. JD's awesome. Low roller. Watch the All in Pod interview with JD that came out yesterday. Watch that. JD's sharp. He's a sharp guy. You may not like his policies, but he's a really sharp guy. And he's a great pick, in my opinion, as a vice president. I mean, I like Tim Walz too. I think Walz is a great pick on the Democrat side for vice president. I actually think the vice presidents are probably better for, governing the country than the presidential candidates. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. I didn't think he really got lazy. I think the beginning of Trump's presidency, it was all new to him. I think he was in over his head. He's used to really being in control of things. And once he got to be president, he wasn't in control. The world events going on, everything was new. Everything he was just learning about Congress, how to get legislation through, all of that. That's what I think happened was Trump he just didn't have the experience to really run the country because he hadn't been in politics. This time around, that may be different, but Brock Purdy should be paid more than Dak. Yeah, there was a discussion on the local radio here in Boston about Jacoby Brissett, right, as the quarterback for the Patriots now, and just kind of filling a role before Drake May, the number 3 draft pick, gets good enough to actually run the team. He needs reps. He needs experience. He needs to learn more before they put him out there. And I agree with that. But the idea about having a offense in the National Football League today that can actually succeed and do well with just an okay quarterback, as opposed to needing to have like the Patrick Mahomes type. Brock Purdy is like the definition of that, right? It's the definition of that. He'll never be Patrick Mahomes, but God, he's a winner. That's for sure. She wants to turn the page, but yet they keep bringing it up. Yeah, of course, the media didn't ask questions about Kamala from 4 to 8 years ago. Didn't bring any of that up. Yeah. Do I think Trump will still win the election? That's a great question, Roz. I mean, you see the numbers of people that attend his events. Thousands and thousands of people attend his rallies. There's so much support for Trump. And there's a lot of people, I think, that don't want to admit in public that they're actually going to vote for him, right? Like there's like a stain on like that kind of opinion, like I'm going to vote for Trump. No, I'll just keep it quiet. I won't say anything. But they're actually going to vote for Trump. And I think Trump is going to get a lot of votes, a lot more votes than it's being shown in any of the polls. We're still almost 2 months away. A lot can happen between now and then. But right now, I would still say, despite last night's debate, that Trump is still probably going to win. Possible to say no matter what, it's going to be close. Yep. And I think what last night showed is, with obviously the good coaching that Harris got. I mean, all of her hand movements, right, and face movements. And it's like anytime Trump would say something was questionable, she'd like turn toward him with this look like, kind of thing. It was obvious that was all coached. She was certainly a much better debater than Biden was. If Biden had still been the nominee, it wouldn't be a question that Trump was going to win. But now it is looking more like a toss-up. And that's the other thing. Trump has said multiple times he does not support a national ban on abortions. It goes back to the states. He says the federal government should not make that decision. The way the United States is created as a republic, the individual states have the ability to make their own laws on certain things that should be done on the state level. And that was Trump's way of wanting to get rid of Roe versus Wade by appointing justices to the Supreme Court, right, and send it back to the states because it's too divisive of an issue. And it continues to be, and people still don't get that about Trump's plan. And I see it. I mean, but yet the Democrats are still going to say Trump supports a national abortion ban, but they're lying because they know that's not what it is. But yet they say it. Even Trafalgar said Trump lost. Again, it depends on what your interest is in, is it? I think there were good and bad on both sides. Harris got a little more of a post-debate push than Trump. So maybe she won in that regard. But she didn't talk about economic policies going forward. All she talked about was how she was going to help the lower to middle class. Like, how, though? And how are you going to pay for it? Didn't talk about that. I don't think it'll change a thing. Ultimately, if the U.S. wants a radically different direction from the president, it has to vote Trump. And again, that's the thing with a country that is so split between the left and the right. It's tough. Wages haven't kept up. That's right. Yeah, that's true. Trump did grow up in a wealthier family. Taylor Swift endorsed Harris. That's right. No surprise there. I like Tim Walz. I like him. I like him more than Kamala Harris. I think he's the speeches that I've seen, he's very enthusiastic. Some of his policies are a little too liberal for me. Again, I'm more independent in the middle. I believe in many Republican policies. I believe in many Democrat policies. And he's just a little bit too liberal overall on average, but I like him. The whole coach thing, the whole idea that he's not wealthy. You know, even now, as governor of Minnesota, he's not wealthy. He hasn't done the Nancy Pelosi thing of like doing all these stock investments with insider information or any of that stuff. So I like him. Just too left-leaning overall for my likes. Elon and the Taylor baby. I thought that was hilarious. That was a hilarious tweet today by Elon. That all, if people don't know, that all had to do with cat ladies, right? There's this ongoing thing about women who don't have children just become single, like cat owners. And then there's been a lot of like AI stuff, AI images that have been generated, all sorts of things with Taylor Swift, obviously. And I guess she posted one with holding a cat. And then that got Elon like to do this tweet about having Taylor's or helping Taylor have a baby or so. Anyway, it was all kind of funny. Hey, Wei, how are you? Cleveland should have kept Baker Mayfield. I agree, low roller. Mayfield's a winner. It's obvious. I mean, the guy can play. And this whole idea of going all in on Watson, knowing his past, that's pretty tough. You don't need a quarterback that bad to go and pay someone that much who has such a bad history of the way he treated people. Yeah, for the Brock Purdy. Yeah, pretty incredible. But that's just in the National Football League, you do have an opportunity through grit and hard work, stay injury free, and you continue to produce, you'll get your chances, particularly a quarterback, because quarterbacks get injured all the time. And backups can step in, they'll get a chance. And if they can play and they can produce, they'll continue to get more chances. And Brock Purdy is certainly one of those, was in the right place at the right time with a very good team around him, obviously. 49ers have one of the best teams. Yeah, they paid him way too much, but they felt like they needed to keep him. Trump will lose the popular vote? Maybe. All he needs are the electoral votes, though. You win the right states, you become president. Most Trump supporters despise Tim Walz. Well, of course they're going to. I kind of like the coach, though. Again, as a person, a lot of his policies I don't agree with. A lot of Trump fans here. Yep. Do we want a communist country? You know, that whole Marxist thing that Trump was talking about was kind of interesting with Harris and her beliefs. Would we really go that far? Again, a lot of stuff that she talks about needs congressional approval, and Congress won't approve that stuff. Trump went through it, 48 years ago. So now they're looking at, well, how much can you actually do with executive orders versus needing congressional legislation? Trump is somewhat moderate. Somewhat, I think, McLean. Economically, I think the country did much better between 2016 and 2020. Certainly, COVID put a wrench in things, the last year of his presidency. But if you were invested in stocks, the stock market was just record returns, just up, up, up. Economy was doing very well. And then it got all messed up with COVID. And the whole idea of giving out stimulus checks, eventually we were going to have to pay for that. And I was talking about that back then. It's like, it's nice to have this money, but eventually it's going to catch up to us. And boy, did it. Inflation. Yeah, I mean, Harris did a lot better in last night's debate than she did 4 years ago in the Democrat primaries, where she didn't do very well. So maybe that was coaching. I mean, she took 5 days straight, solid, of preparing for this debate. So she obviously had a good team and did very well. Most people are fed up with some of those liberal policies. Trump has taken a strong stance on banning stuff. And that's one thing I do agree with too. I mean, I think that has all gone too far, those liberal views. I mean, you see it in schools, like all of the colored flags, and it's like, no, they should be American flags. We should be more patriotic in our schools and not just go too far with the equality thing, which is another one of the Harris things on the little bits of economic stuff we see, is that taxing more of the rich in order to give more to the poor and make everyone else, make it all equal. Well, that's the Marxist communist stuff coming out. That's what that is. That's why people are talking about, communist Kamala and all that stuff. Because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in all the handouts. I don't like that. Yeah, Joe just wasn't able to, he's just too old. He was really declining, and you could see it. You could see it. So. Dogecoin price by December. To here, it's still my yearly price prediction is still in play. I made a price prediction video back on January 1st for price prediction for Dogecoin by the end of the year, and that is still in play. If you care about crypto, vote Trump, or you'll have unrealized gains taxes with Kamala in a country going towards communism. There are many who believe that. Now, I don't think, because that would be an act of Congress to do the unrealized gains, and Congress isn't going to pass that. Nancy Pelosi is not going to pass that, right? I mean, she makes a crap ton of money in the stock market. So she's not voting for a tax on unrealized gains. She's not going to support that. So I think that's just a Kamala talking point, again, to take money from the rich and give it to the poor. So that's the part of the communism thing that I don't like about her policies, is that part. More handouts. I don't like that. You should work for what you get. No matter what it is. It could be a little bit. It could be community service. I don't care. Do something. Don't just accept handouts for free. Yeah, it looks like Cleveland doesn't have a good team, low roller. It looks like, to me, they sacrificed too much to get Watson at too high of a price, and they lost too many other good people because of it. And people didn't want to be in Cleveland. In New England, we've got Alex Van Pelt now as our offensive coordinator, and he actually looks pretty good. And he was the Cleveland OC. So, yeah, Cleveland not looking so great. If Biden stayed, Trump would win. I agree with that. Prior to COVID was better. Hey, life was great. Economy was great. Things were cooking. But, you know, stuff happens, right? Stuff happens in life. The COVID was a big one. You never got a COVID check? When you start taking stuff away from me, then that's a problem. Yeah, I agree with that. I got the stimulus checks. I put them right into the markets. I wasn't going to say no, but I knew, again, talked about it at the time, that this is going to come back to bite us at some point in time. Wars and handouts. Yeah, there is that whole thing about the what Bobby Kennedy calls the neocons, right? So those are the big American war companies, right? The Raytheons and others that are making all of this weaponry. They want the good times to continue. They want the wars to continue. Trump is going to end all the wars, so they don't support Trump. They support the people who are going to be pushing for continuation of wars because they make a lot of money. Yeah, there is a lot of brainwashing too. It's out there, which is really sad, I think. Children can be very confused about things for many years. And if they're encouraged to make a bad decision, that will affect them the rest of their lives, which is very unfortunate. Hi, Olaf. Yeah, we talked crypto for an hour plus, and now we're just doing some post-debate politics stuff, just kind of for the fun of it, because we don't usually talk about politics here, and there's a few people hanging around here, so we're going to talk a little bit more. I saw that picture somebody had on X of a picture of Harris's earring next to some like off-the-shelf thing you can buy that's actually a transmitter. And they looked somewhat similar. Again, this is the whole conspiracy thing, right? Conspiracy theory that Kamala had earrings that were actually transmitting audio, and she was getting coached during the debate through her earrings. You gotta love it, right? You gotta love it. Oh. Ta, 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 ta. If Trump loses the election, what do Republicans do next? Well, that's someone will come up. Somebody always shows up. I mean, J.D. Vance, if he was going to be a 2028 candidate, he would have to probably change some of his beliefs and be a little bit more moderate on some key issues in order to have a chance of winning the vote, in my opinion. Somewhat similar, but not entirely. Yeah, but kind of close enough. Kind of close enough to make you think, was there really something going on there? Trump stayed after the debate to talk to people. Kamala didn't. Yeah, I didn't keep it on. I turned it off afterwards. I didn't really want to hear all that post stuff, but I thought it was interesting at the very beginning when Kamala actually walked up to Trump and shook his hand, because I didn't think Trump was going to do that with Kamala, because during the first debate, Trump and Biden didn't shake hands. But Kamala went right up to Trump. And then I heard this morning at the 9/11 ceremony in New York that they shook hands again. Again, I didn't see it, so I don't know if that was Kamala going up to Trump again, or did they mutually shake hands? What was that? I don't know. But I think Kamala was coached to do that. That's my guess, following the Biden thing. My guess is Kamala was pretty much told, you need to go up to Donald Trump, introduce yourself, and shake his hand. And she did. Republicans need to go back old-fashioned Bush. Yeah, there's really nobody, though. There's not a Reagan Bush kind of person right now in the Republican ranks that I can see. I mean, you saw the different candidates that were there this year. Not a strong group. Vivek was strong, but he just doesn't seem presidential to me. I don't know. Thoughts on a vaccine? I'm in the Bobby Kennedy boat on the vaccine. That it was improperly tested, came out too soon, was promised to do things that it wasn't made to do, and a few biotech companies made billions upon billions of dollars at the expense of many people around the world. There's my thoughts. If Harris loses the elections, Democrats have a lot of options in 2028. I agree. I agree with that. And especially if you believe that the Democrats are actually led by people that are the puppeteers, right, behind the scenes, which many believe in the Biden presidency. They really weren't Biden's agenda items. They were the Democratic Party's, and there were other people that were actually running the country and not Joe Biden. If you believe that, then sure, there's a lot of options for Democrats in 2028 that would do the same thing. Fall right in line, get the party support. I don't know. I kind of think that the part that Donald Trump says about being a world leader, being able to go and meet other leaders of other countries and show strength and power as the leader of the country is more important. And that's where I think Trump has a better standing than Harris on that. Because we don't see Harris doing anything as a vice president on that side. So we agree political. Yeah, again, me, I'm like, I lean left on some things and I lean right on others, which is, I don't know, not always the best place to be. I still didn't know who I was going to vote for. I was kind of thinking I would vote for Bobby Kennedy just because he is more in line with his thoughts than either of the other two. But he's dropped out, so I agree on the vax. Not everyone needed to take it. Kept getting tested and nothing was wrong. I know. That was tough. And there was this whole narrative out there about the vaccines would keep you from getting COVID. And that wasn't true. It wasn't true at all. What the vaccines were actually doing was limiting the severity of the illness in your body, is what it was doing. But it wasn't keeping you from getting it. And somehow it got out that this was going to keep you from getting it. And that wasn't true. And the booster thing, I agree. And particularly like employers who were mandating, their workers get the vaccine. That was pretty tough. New research on the vaccine shows there are really strange self-assembling artifacts, peer-reviewed. A lot we didn't know. It was made too soon, particularly the mRNA vaccine by Moderna. mRNA being this new approach to vaccines. We don't know what the long-term effects are. Have no idea. But Moderna made a crap ton of money. Yeah, don't ask questions. A woman president, I mean, there have been women leaders of many other countries around the world, some good, some not so good. It's kind of a mixed bag. But last night, I mean, Kamala did very well in the debate. She talked strong. I mean, she has this whole, DA, approach experience behind her. So she knows when to be tough. She can be tough. She just hasn't shown it as a vice president. She hasn't done anything. So, yep. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that, A-star. And I'm going to get into that, Roz. Yeah. Personal choice. Remember what happened to, who was the tennis player? Novak Djokovic, right? He wouldn't get the vaccine, and so he was disallowed from playing in many tournaments because he wouldn't get the vaccine. Remember that? Whew. Now looking back on it, it was like Novak was right. And good for him for taking that personal stand. But God, what he went through, that was pretty tough. Well, it was nice chatting a little bit about politics. Don't normally do that, but following the debate, it was on a lot of people's minds. Of course, crypto was not mentioned. All the people who were putting polls out on X Twitter before the debate, asking if Bitcoin, crypto were going to be talked about during the debate. I was like, no, they're not going to talk about crypto. There's so many other things to talk about. They're not going to talk about crypto. It's still pretty much a niche kind of thing that, yeah, of course, crypto wouldn't be mentioned. It was just like, that was so dumb. But the people who are putting those polls up are the people who are content creators on X, right? And so they're getting paid by engagement. So the more people that vote in their poll, the more money they get. So they put out these stupid polls all the time. So yeah, there was that. Of course, crypto wasn't going to be mentioned. And because of the appearance that Harris outperformed Trump, we had kind of this dump in the market. Yeah, but this morning, it pretty much traded almost all the way back up. Bitcoin same. So there you go. All right, I will see you all on Friday. Friday will be my last live stream for a while because next week I will be on vacay. Will not be around. Going to have some fun next week. So I hope you all have fun too. And I really hope the FOMC meeting next week leads to a big pump in crypto markets. But until then, we have Friday. Friday will be on at 4 o'clock. Hope to see you all there. Until then, everyone had a good evening. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.